today's show is about hair. Everything you ever wanted to know about your hair. As a matter of fact, you can say this show picks up where Chris Rock's movie Good Hair leaves off. Joining me today on the show are my illustrious panel of good friends, starting with Crystal Wright. Crystal is the founder of the Crystal Agency. The Crystal Agency was the bomb. This was the agency that anybody who wanted to be a hair or makeup stylist in the movies, on TV, for print shoots, album covers, you had to go through Crystal. But Crystal has now written a book, so you can get her book, and it's called
The Hair, Makeup, and Fashion Styling Career Guide.
Okay, welcome to the show, Crystal.
Thank you. I am very happy to be here, Angela.
All righty, and then we have wonderful Cheryl Francis Harrington. Okay, now Cheryl gave me a whole list. Now I know her as actress,
Yes.
but she is actress, real estate investor, leasing agent, traveling notary,
Yes.
host for hire.
Yes.
In other words, this is a woman who knows how to survive here in Hollywood.
Exactly.
That is Cheryl.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
Good. And now we have Kelly Carter. Kelly, who is a writer, and Kelly is the kind of person that you want to be friends with, and she's my neighbor. Kelly is a freelancer for People Magazine, USA Today. She is on staff for, you're the editor of?
Contributing editor at Elite
Okay.
Traveler magazine, which is a private jet lifestyle magazine. It's on yachts. It's in the best hotel suites around the world. It's locker rooms, wherever there are very wealthy people.
And,
Private jets. It's a private jet lifestyle
okay,
magazine.
and can I get on like on that publication? Because I think I need to go on the private jets and on the yachts and everything. Well, anyway, these are my friends, and I asked them to come today and help me talk about hair. Black women and drama and hair.
Yes.
The good, the bad, the money. All right. First thing up, let's talk about childhood, growing up. Crystal, okay, growing up, what was your hair like? How did you wear your hair as a little girl?
Well, you know, my grandmother believed that the straighter it was, the better it was. I mean, this was a long time ago. And my grandmother used to straighten my hair with Royal Crown. Do we all remember
the real
Royal
grease,
Crown?
the real grease.
Yes.
Wait a minute, the one where you could never actually get the top back on that cardboard
Once you get
box,
it off.
that silver top, you couldn't get it back on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my grandmother did my hair in the kitchen on a red stool.
Was she pressing?
Oh yeah, of course she pressed it.
Okay.
Was there another way to do your hair back then?
No.
Of course she pressed it. She washed it and she in the sink and she pressed it in the kitchen and
Okay.
you know, Royal crowned it down so it wouldn't move, and that was it for the week.
I remember, I have to do a footnote. I was in Palm Springs, and I was at a bar and talking to this gentleman. He told me that he was African American. He said he dates all kinds of women, and that recently he's now back with an African American woman. And he said he came home one day, and he went like this. He said, "You can't go anywhere in the world. You can only find the smell of a frying comb at a black woman's home."
Or in the gym, because you're working out at the gym at
Right.
Magic Johnson's 24-hour fitness.
Yes.
You walk into the locker room afterwards, oh my gosh, it's like you are in a
And
beauty
the
salon.
Yeah, and the hair. Yeah, everybody's doing their.
Oh,
So now, Cheryl, back to childhood.
Yes.
What was going on in your home?
Well, you know what? I didn't have any real hang-ups. I grew up in Harlem, and I was in Black Haven.
Okay.
And so I wore my hair braided.
Okay.
It was always in braids and some sort of plait, or I did have it fried and combed, and I got lots of burns on my ear.
Okay.
But it was just something that you had to do. I didn't have anything like it was wrong. I just felt like this is what we have to do. But I never had long hair.
Okay. Did you
This-
want long hair?
Yes, I
Okay.
wanted long hair. I had a Barbie doll, so of course I wanted to have, and I kept going
Was it
like
a white
this
Barbie?
into my
Was
stomach.
it a white Barbie?
Well, it was only, that's the only Barbie you got.
That was Barbie.
Was there
That-
another kind of Barbie
That
back
was the
then?
only Barbie that
No,
I
Yeah,
had.
that was it.
No,
That was
well,
it.
yeah.
Right. And Kelly, what about you? How did you wear your hair as a little
Now, I
girl?
grew up in Los Angeles, and unfortunately, my mother was never a good beautician. She used to try to do my hair, but she knew she really couldn't do it. So she would send us to the beautician over on Central Avenue, in fact, and Bernie would press our hair. But when it wasn't like freshly pressed, You know, we're talking 60s and 70s, so I did my Afro puffs with Demita Joe
Oh
Freeman
my
from Soul
gosh.
Train. I love the whole, you know, rocking that look back then, and I had no hair issues. I never wanted long, bouncing and behaving hair like my dolls, even though I had my little white dolls. I never thought about, oh, I want my hair to look like theirs, because there were so many images, positive images with black women in our hair back then.
Okay.
It was completely different then
So
than
this
it
was
is
during
now.
the Black Power movement.
Right,
when
because
we were
we're
into wearing natural
exactly,
hair
and you're hearing
afros.
songs like "Say It Loud"
From
and
Black
"Like
and
I'm
I'm
Proud," and you know,
Yeah.
you see Demita Joe Freeman kicking her legs up
Yep,
over
yep.
James Brown on Soul Train and things like that. And so it was not a thing where it's like, oh, I want my hair straight. It's like, no, I want Afro puffs.
Well, that's great. Now, my mother was a hairstylist, which you would think that would be a wonderful thing because that means you have somebody do your hair. But I was the test guinea pig. So when hair relaxers first came out,
Oh my
I
gosh.
was 12 years old, and my mother's putting hair relaxer on me. And now at that point, you know, people were jealous because I now had straight hair. Everybody was still wearing pigtails. But I was tortured. This was a torture to do to a child, to put hair relaxer on their hair, stick you underneath a dryer for hours. So tell me about the first time you ever had a relaxer on your hair.
Well, and that's
you
interesting
remember?
because I didn't have a relaxer on my hair when I was a kid.
Okay.
I never had a relaxer until I think maybe even after college. I never had a relaxer. So when it would get hot or when we'd go swimming, my hair would just be nappy.
Right.
You know, and I
Yes.
was always trying to re-wet it and put conditioner on it so I could get the tangles out of it, so I could put some more Royal Crown on it, so I could put it back in a ponytail.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a relaxer till I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Oh,
What
yeah,
about any relaxer stories?
No, I didn't. Well, I have relaxer stories as an adult,
Okay.
but I didn't have any as a kid. I'm actually kind of glad that I never
Okay.
had a perm. It was braids, and you would braid it tight, and wasn't exposed to too much swimming, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Anybody ever have all their hair fall out from a chemical?
Oh, yes. I mean, and
Okay.
I started
Wow.
getting relaxers. Maybe I was somewhere around 11 or 13, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I was on the crack relaxer for, for years.
creamy crack.
The creamy crack.
Yeah, yeah.
For years and years and years. You know, I would beg hairstylists. They're like, no, you have to wait 6 weeks. No, 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 no. No, it's crinkling now. You know, put it on at 4 weeks. I'll be okay. They're like, is it burning? No, no, it's not burning.
You know, I heard an interesting statistic that they said that the average black woman has lost her hair at least 3 times in her lifetime
Oh, really?
because of chemicals. And switching go from one chemical, like when people were wearing jerry curls and they went back to a relaxer, and then products came out on the market that took all their hair out, and then people started dyeing their hair, that the average black woman has lost hair. And even women with natural hairstyles, if you look at the hairline, you see alopecia set in where their hair has actually been pulled out. A lot of little girls, their hair's been pulled too tight. And even with hair weaving, you see a lot of people, they wear weaves all the time, and underneath, that hair's not being taken care of. So there's a lot of
Well, I can
of
tell
hair
you
loss.
stories about that. I mean,
Okay.
I think from all the braiding
Mhm.
that I have a little alopecia happening right here.
Okay.
And I tried some of the Rogaine, but I didn't stick with the program, so I don't really know if it really worked because I don't like using drugs or chemicals per se. But I have, and I actually, while I was in high school, just getting out of high school, college, and pursuing acting, that's when I came into the world of wigs.
Okay.
I got into heavy wearing wigs. I had bags of wigs I'd carry. You know, in New York, you know, you don't have a car because you're taking the train, and I would have in my bag wigs and change of clothes.
Was this because you were acting and you wanted to be ready for any role?
You had to be ready for any role, and I was rocking the short. I had
Okay.
that very, very short, close to my crop afro.
TWA, teeny weeny afro.
I didn't know that.
I was
You didn't
like,
know
Are
that?
we getting ready to go on the airline?
Do you know about the
Teeny
TWA,
weeny-
the
no, I
teeny
never
weeny
heard
afro?
it.
No, we're going to take a break. We will be right back. We're coming back to talk to the panel. We're going to talk about white women and their hair, and do black women envy their hair? We'll be right back.